Hello, this is Krystal, and thank you so much for joining me for this week's First Chapter Friday. Today I will be reading from the Dinosaur Lords by Victor Milan. Prologue. Dragon. Achdorchid, the family to which the largest of the furred flying reptiles, called flyers or pterosaurs, belong. Wingspan 11 meters. Stands over 5 meters high. Lands to prey on smaller dinosaurs and occasionally humans. The Book of True Names. The Empire of Nueva Europa, Francia, Duchy of Hot Pace, County Providence. Toothed beaks sunk in low green and purple vegetation. The herd of plump, brown, four-legged dinosaurs grazed placidly, oblivious to the death that kited beside sheer white cliffs high above. Though he lay on a limestone slab, with hands laced behind his head, their herd boy was less complacent. He had put aside his broad straw hat and green feather sun yoke, intending to doze away the morning. His small blue herder dog, lying in the grass beside him, would alert him if danger from the ground threatened the 36 fatties in his charge. But then he spotted the dark farm, wheeling hopefully against the perpetual daytime overcast, and all hope of relaxation fled. He didn't believe stories about monstrous flying reptiles like this great crested dragon swooping down on short-furred, 10-meter wings to carry off beasts or men. Nobody he knew had seen any such thing. What dragons could do was land and, tall as houses, stalk prey on wings, knuckled, and short hind legs. I'm not scared, the boy told himself. It was mostly even true. Like land-bound predators, from little vexers to Nueva Europa's greatest predator, the matador, a dragon preferred easy meat. It wouldn't like stones cast from the boy's sling, nor the yapping and nipping of a dog far too clever and nimble for it to stab with its sword beak. The dog hopped up and began to bark excitedly. The boy sat up, feeling bouncer bumps rise on his bare arms. That meant danger closer to hand. He sat up to look for it. It wasn't lurking in the meadow splashed with blue and white wildflowers. That didn't offer enough cover even for a notoriously stealthy matador. To his right rose the white cliffs, and beyond them the Shield Mountains, distance blued, a few higher peaks silver-capped in snow despite the advent of spring. Away to the southwest, the land shrugged brush-dotted foothills, then sloped and smoothed away into the fertile green plains of his home county of Providence, interrupted by the darker greens of forested ridges and stream courses. Several fatties, still munching, raised frilled heads to peer in the same direction the dog did. Though members of the mighty horn-faced tribe of dinosaurs, they lacked horns and might. Meek, dumpy beasts, they grew to the length of a tall man and the height of a tall dog. They were staring at a dozen or so plate-backed dinosaurs that swayed into view in the meadow, not 40 meters downslope. The beasts' bodies looked like capital Ds lying down. The herd bull was especially impressive. 4 meters tall to the tips of the double row of yellow spade-shaped plates that topped his high arched back, his scaled hide shading from russet sides to yellow belly. His tail spikes, nearly as long as the herd boy was tall, could tear the guts out of a king tyrant. The fatties began switching their thick tails, spilling half-ground greenery from their beaks to pleat distress. Platebacks were placid, but also nearsighted. They tended to lash out with their tails at anything that startled them, which meant almost anything that got close to them. The herd boy was on his feet, dancing from foot to foot, sandals flopping against the soles. His best course was to stay put and hope the intruders went away on their own. If they didn't, he'd have to chuck rocks at them with his sling. If that didn't work, he'd be first to run at them, hollering and waving his arms. He really didn't want to do that. He looked urgently around for some alternative, and so he saw something far worse than a herd of lumbering stegosaurs. His dog began to growl. And if you would like to know what happens next, you can check this book out on the Libby app. Please join me here next week as I read from the beginning of The Dinosaur Hunter by Homer Hickam. That will be our closing dinosaur-themed book as winter reading ends next week. Please continue to log your minutes, and everyone who completes the program at 600 minutes will be invited to join us for next Saturday's pizza party. Thank you and have a great week.